What do you mean we are going to Africa? Jack asked. Hold on, son, his dad said. You haven't even heard the most thrilling part. Your mom and I have invented a brand new kind of tourism. Oh no, Jack muttered. Now just hear us out, his dad said. This time we've hit upon a surefire money-making opportunity. This one can't lose, his mom said. Thousands of people travel to Kenya each year, his dad said. Every one of them becomes fascinated by the noble and revered Maasai people. Do these travelers come away with any true understanding of the Maasai way of life? No, they just think they did because they bought a necklace and took a photo. But 3 years ago, we employed a Maasai elder as a safari guide, his mom said. We even stayed overnight with his family before we flew home. Matisiti was so fond of us. There were tears in his eyes when we said goodbye. Even his children were crying. Kenya had a place in our hearts forever, his dad said. So when we found ourselves trying out the old 9 to 5 grind this summer, I said to your mom, I bet Matisiti doesn't work 9 to 5. And I said, too bad we weren't born Maasai elders, his mom said. Then it hit me like a lightning bolt, Jack's dad said. Let's build a camp where tourists can live like real Maasai tribe. Jack's mom hooked her thumb at his dad. That's where you get your smarts from, Jack. That man right there. His dad blushed. I'm a bit surprised nobody thought of it before now. It's brilliant, his mom said. In fact, there are layers of brilliance to it. For example, we won't have to spend millions of dollars building a luxury safari lodge with a swimming pool, which is splendid since we don't have millions of dollars. Yet, his dad said. Jack wondered if the room was actually spinning or if his brain just couldn't compute what he had heard. He gripped the nearest arm of the sofa. You see, son, his dad said, the Maasai live in that kind of housing we can construct ourselves. We'll start by building an enkang of acacia thorns. An enkang is a fence to keep out lions, his mom said. Lions, Jack cried. Indeed, nobody wants a lion hanging about the place, his dad said. Once we have the enkang up, we'll build the Inkajijik. That's the house, his mom said. Here's another layer of brilliance, his dad said. We won't have to buy building materials. Not even a nail. It's all right there for us in the great outdoors. Mud, sticks, and grass free to anybody that comes along. Except the cow dung to make it all stick together, his mom said. But we'll buy a cow and then all we have to do is wait. And thanks to you, son, we'll be planning ahead for disasters. If the cow dung doesn't hold up, we'll reinforce the whole thing with duct tape. Jack blinked. How was duct taping a house together supposed to be his idea? The catering won't cost us either, his dad continued. The Maasai don't wander around Walmart shopping for sales on cocoa puffs. They live off the land. The guests can milk the cow, and we'll leave them a couple of spears for hunting. They'll be out on their own, having the adventure of a lifetime. They'll cook whatever they hunt over a campfire, his mom said, so we won't have to buy a stove. We won't even need electricity or plumbing. You see what we mean by layers of brilliance, his dad asked. So you want people to fly all the way to Africa and pay you to let them stay in a hut you built out of cow dung and duct tape. Then if the roof doesn't crash down on their heads, they can run around with spears trying to kill a wild animal for dinner? That is the worst idea I've ever heard. You always say that, his mom said, but it's not actually possible for all of ideas to be the worst idea. Jack, you're not seeing the genius of it. People will pay for the unique experience. They can stay in a nice hotel any day, but living like a real Maasai tribe, now that's a once-in-a-lifetime adventure. Jack did not point out that other people his parents had treated to a once-in-a-lifetime adventure were still trying to forget it. They'll sue you. Something will go horribly wrong, and they'll sue you. Not this time, son, his dad said. We are going at this like professional business people. We even printed out a contract. The Berenson Camp Company is not liable for any inconvenience including yellow fever, elephant stampedes, lightning strikes, snake bites, flash floods, and anything else that results in illness and injury up to and including death. We found a sample contract on the internet and just switched it up a bit, his mom said. Your dad came up with that and anything else, but to really cover all the bases. How's that for planning? Nobody will sign something like that, Jack said. Listen, love, his mom said. We've worked at the sub stop for the entire summer slapping together sandwiches and pita pockets. Us, the Berensons. We've been reduced to pita pockets when we should be millionaires by now. And after all that hard work, Mr. Crinklenuffer said. His mom paused then mumbled. Actually, I blocked out what he said. His exact words were, his dad said, that's it. I've had it. Get out, and no, I'll not give you references. Jack's mom patted his dad's arm. You couldn't have known how hot those peppers were. His dad nodded. It turns out Mrs. Kramer does not care about habanero, though even my eyes are on fire, was a bit dramatic. You lose your jobs, Jack said. Again, both of you at the same time? It's not so much a loss as it is a sign, his mom said, when you put it together with the eviction notice. We're getting evicted? Apparently, his dad muttered. The landlord never did get over the fireworks incident. Somebody doesn't care to celebrate this great country's independence. You burned down the garage, Jack said. He probably doesn't think a 2-alarm fire counts as a celebration. Jack's breathing had become fast and shallow. He ran to the kitchen, fished a paper lunch bag out of a drawer, and breathed into it. Now, Jack, there's no reason to hyperventilate, his mom said, traveling after him. Take a deep breath and remember the family rules. We swear this trip will be different. His dad followed and said, Your mom and I have made remarkable strides in planning and organization. Jack thought remarkable ideas was a little optimistic, or a lot optimistic. And his mom said, You've been so good about depositing our paychecks and hiding the debit card that we actually have savings. Now we can parlay them into a real fortune. That's right, his dad said. All the great financial minds parlay. It's the only way to get ahead in this world. Did Warren Buffett ever work at a sub stop? No, he was too busy parlaying. I don't know anything about Warren Buffett or parlaying, But the last thing we should do is to go to foreign country, Jack said. After you know. His mom stared at the linoleum. His dad played with the string to the ceiling fan. Jack, his dad said, no need to dwell on the past. That the only thing to remember about the past is that it is now over. Your mom and I have put those kinds of mishaps behind us. These days, we are thinking ahead, thinking.